Hello, how can I manage time and streamline my video production process to meet my daily publishing goals? In this video, we are going to talk about how many hours a day you have to dedicate to your daily video production. So you need to figure out that time first. And in business world, it could be called production time. So in my example, I like to allocate 1 hour for the whole process. So that is our available time. We can call it task time as well, the time we have to meet that one demand. If we assume our demand is to publish one video a day, we have 1 hour available time a day to dedicate to it. So now that 1 hour a day, you will ask yourself, what are the different steps that you will go through from setting up your station to publishing your videos and putting it away. So you will break down the whole process into multiple tasks, and then you will use that time, your production time for the whole process. You will divide it by the number of tasks you have. That will be your task time per task, your available time that you want to allocate for each task. So now you'll ask yourself, in a real world, how much time it takes you for each one of those processes. So it'll be good. You can take a notebook, in your log, and each time you accomplish one process, you can take a note of it, like for the time and so forth, until you complete the whole process. And that way you know how long it took you. The time might vary, but that will give you an idea how long it took you to complete the whole process. For instance, I noticed that when I broke down my processes, I found 6 steps in it. One, I will set up my station, and I don't have permanent place to record videos. So I could do it in my office, or I could do it in this room. And I noticed that it could take me about 5 minutes or so to pretty much set the station. So I have the computer there, and I usually will just keep it on that thought and just leave it there. And in the morning, I'll just organize my place and just do it. And I could say that it could take me about 5 minutes in average. If I'm working in the office, this setup is about the same as well. So I will pretty much bring my things and have it on the table, because by the time I'm done, this table will be empty. But I'll bring the computer and all the accessories. I will bring this lamp. I have this one in the office. I'll bring this one. This one I use it in the room that I showed earlier. In that setup, I have that there. So I'll use it in this office, and I just use some totes because we have our sewing fabric right there. So I have totes with products in them. I'll just use it to support this lamp, and then I can just have lamp, just simple system. And when I'm done, I'll just put things away. If you have a dedicated place that you just record, it might save you some minutes to set it up every morning. But for me, I don't have a dedicated space. This could be a dedicated space for it, but I like to put things away and clear up that table. So, but yeah, and you can just, let's see here. So know how long it takes you to set up your station to start your process. In addition to that, every morning I like to log in and plan my day. So, and it can take me some time to do this as well. And instead of tapping in every time, I will just copy this template here and paste it, and then I will put the date here, and then I will change the hours. If the beginning hour, like for instance for today, the beginning hour change, and that was the only things that I changed in it. So, and quickly you will get out of your log in, but your log can take you a few minutes as well. So those are different setups that you just have to break up your processes. Another things I do as well is open my keyword log, because I have all the questions that I'm going to record video about. They are the title of my videos. I will pick one, I will color code it, and then I will put it in my log spreadsheet. And those are the 3 for today. We are working on the 3rd one. That way, when I'm done with one video, I'll just copy it from here and I will just name the video. So we are done with 2. We are working on the 3rd one. So those are things that very quickly I will decide, the video I'm going to record. I don't do that in advance. I do that in the morning. I'm going to record because I'm talking about something that I know. Therefore, I don't really prep for it. I already did the preparation by selecting the questions that I'm going to record video about and have it here. And every day I'm just going through them and just pick one and record. So today is this one. And for the YouTube process that we have been going through, we have this long one, and I group them to have this iteration for the remaining, and we are working on this one today. I'll just come and pick the content, and then I'll put it in my PowerPoint presentation and save it, and we just start. But it takes few minutes to do every single one of those things. So one thing I noticed is that going through multiple clicks, I needed to do something about it, because I could have different files in different folders. Therefore, I create this admin production so that I can save a few seconds from clicking and have those 2 that I will use whether for recording or publishing, and have a folder for recording. Those are the PowerPoint presentation, the stocks that I'm going to use in my recording, and the keyword spreadsheet that I'm going to pull the question from and record about. Those are the files that I will use for my recording, and having them together, even though I prefer not to have those 2 things here, but have it under finance, and I didn't want to shortcut to link it, I just put it here. This is my production file, and I will open those. And when I'm done with production, I have my publishing files as well. And my publishing file has my description for the video, has my titles, and has my add-on, my disclaimers as well. And I know that for my publishing, this is the file I'll go through. And grouping things like that can save you some time. And that is one thing you have to determine. Once you know the different steps you have to go through, you can see how long it takes you to do every single one, and then see if you need to group some tasks. That's how I create those folders to group files that I will use in different stages. So I noticed that there are some steps, like to set up the place might take me about 5 minutes. And then when I log into my computer and working through those different files, putting my time logging it, choosing the question, putting on my PowerPoint presentation and so forth, and even copying the description, a short description, to paste it here because I already have it. It could take me about 10 minutes to be ready. If like I wanted to follow things by the letter, it could take me about 10 minutes. But then I asked myself how long I wanted to record the video, because when I was choosing the questions, I used AI, and I asked AI to break down the question into small bite, 1 question, 1 answer. And this is more for educational type of content. And the idea is, a question I can answer simply within one or two sentences, and then support it with an experience or an example, and that's it. And I chose about 15 minutes, although I tend to go over it, but I like to keep it within 15 minutes. So that is that. And right now we have those examples for today. The first video took me 17 minutes. The second one took me 15 minutes. So, and this one, I don't know how long we are in already. It's not going to show it to us yet. But you wanted to say within that 1 hour how long you want your videos to be. That is the time you are going to be using as a benchmark to see how you are doing. If you need to break down your questions more, your video more into small bites to stay within that. If your video content encompasses a lot of things, like the way this one encompasses a lot of things you cannot do within the time you allocate, maybe you might think about breaking it down into smaller bites, questions that you want to answer. Again, when it comes to educational content, because that's what I produce. So now that we know how long it's going to take to record the video, you wanted to know how long it's going to take you to publish the video. And I think we are going to have a session where we are going to practice that as well. But I allocate about 15 minutes for it as well. And when we are done publishing, we'll want to log our URL on our spreadsheet for the YouTube, for the blog, if we post pins, for the pins, and then for Spotify for the same content. And we are hoping to do that within 15 minutes. So, but right now that I'm creating 3 content a day, things are a little bit skewed. This is in relation to 1 video a day, 15 minutes to do that. And I know that with YouTube, it can take me about 5 to 6 minutes for that one. But and then you are going to see the process that you can do to save time there, to not do things necessarily one after the other, but do it adjacently. Like open, for instance, in that instance, when we have multiple platforms, open them all. And for Spotify and YouTube is going to use the same video, upload it, on those 2 platforms right away, type of thing. So you just have to see processes that will save you few minutes every area of your task. And that is the publishing, and then login and then put things away. I assume it's going to take me about 15 minutes as well. And that one is 2 things are grouped there as well. 10 and 5 minutes, maybe 5 minutes to put things away, 10 minutes to do my log as well, or so forth. But again, we might not wait after we publish everything to do the login. You might do it as we are publishing. That's how we can do both together to save time, so that when we copy the link, we can paste it where we want to paste it, as well as our log as well. But in some way, that is my process is here to stay within that 1 hour. So now that we allocate about 15 minutes, we are going to record how long it's taking to do everything. You write it down to compare it to the time you want to allocate for those tasks, and see what tasks you want to group, because you want, and how much it's taking you to perform every task is the cycle time. The cycle is the actual time it's taking you to complete 1 cycle. And in this, not necessarily for the whole production, which you can use it for, but I'm using it for 1 task at a time. And I noticed that some are 15 minutes, some are less, and so forth. So I try to group them so that the cycle time is close to the task time, the actual time that I'm using for each process, each step of the process, to be about the same as the available time that I'm allocating to that task. And the goal is to keep improving, to bring down the cycle time and be able to bring down the task time as well. But you have to start with the time you think you can handle, and then see how you can improve it, and decreasing how long you are spending on your production. That is the exercise for today, to be able to break down your process and see how long it takes you to complete each one of it, what tasks you need to group, and what your goal is, to bring down the cycle time, the actual time it takes to complete one process, or to increase the task time, the available time, because you didn't set a realistic time to complete that process, because it's taking you too long, more than what you allocated for it. Those things are things you are going to walk through. So thank you so much for watching our videos, and it might be a good idea to start recording and publishing now, so that you can walk through those challenges to see how you resolve them and be ready for 2026. You don't need to wait until 2026 to start recording, but you can start getting ready, and as you are getting ready, you can start recording and publishing as well, so that you can practice it. And there is room for improvement. It's not set on stone. And as you continue, you might even improve your questions. You might even decide you don't want to record video on certain questions and change them. You might have questions in your comment section that you record videos for. Be open-minded and keep tweaking, keep improving. And that is the whole process of our daily video production goal for 2026, so that we can improve ourselves and see the impact that will have on our channel. Thank you so much for your time. We thank you very much for all your questions. Thank you for watching our videos, and we thank you very much for subscribing to our channel. I'm Afiavi Liberman, Cross of Liberman Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel, and in soap.com, our blog. On our channel and on our blog, we share different ways to save money and different ways to make money to reach your financial independence, where you do not depend on an employer to provide for your family. And having your own YouTube channel is, over time, you could make a stream of income out of it. You could create a stream, generate a stream of income out of it. Thank you so much for your time. For more of our YouTube content strategy, will you please check the playlist in the description of this video, and keep in mind that it's okay if in 2026 there are some days you miss videos. It is okay, but you want at least to set the goal and try to work toward that goal and see pretty much. For instance, I set that goal earlier this year. I work on it in spring, in winter, early spring, and then spring and summer. I didn't publish much, and at the end of summer I went back in it again, and I'm setting it again for 2026. It's okay if you set the goal, you didn't complete it, does not mean you are not going to set it again. You can just set it and try it again, and we are just going to keep trying. Thank you so much for your time.